Hey lovely people out there, how are you all doing? This is your star guide Nikita and we are back with one more interesting video where we are going to understand the transit of planet Saturn into the nakshatra of SHATABHISHA, the nakshatra ruled by planet Rahu, and how it's going to impact each one of us depending upon our ascendant and moon sign. So stay tuned till the end, and as I always say, do not skip the intro part, and you can assess and listen to the analysis part as per your ascendant and moon sign, and the timestamps are provided in the description section as well as comment section. So Saturn and Rahu, both these planets have got their rulership over the sign of Aquarius, and Shatabhisha falls right in the middle of the sign of Aquarius. So now the two complex planets, the two crucial planets like Saturn and Rahu, their energies are being combined, their energies are merged into the nakshatra of Shatabhisha, because Saturn is the karmkaraka and Rahu represents revolution. And that is why when Saturn is transiting through the nakshatra of Shatabhisha, this is the time where we can expect some revolutionary changes in our personality and especially in our career. So Shatabhisha nakshatra is represented by an empty circle, which means that the energy is in momentum. The energy is constant in this circle. So what kind of energy are we putting in? What kind of efforts are we putting into our career, in our karma, in the way we behave, in the way we act, and in the way we serve this society and this world and humanity? So these are going to be the crucial themes during this time. And Shatabhisha is the nakshatra which is known as the star of healing, and it is also represented by the term 100 healers. It is a Urdhvamukhi nakshatra, which means that it carries upward direction. It represents upward direction. So now it's time to go inwards, to go within, and to heal certain patterns in our personality, in our life, especially in the way we perform our karma. And it also depends on where the sign of Aquarius falls in your chart and the rulership of planet Saturn in your chart. So the healing is likely to take place in those aspects of life. So without any further ado, let's get started with our analysis of how this transit of Saturn in the nakshatra Shatabhisha is going to impact each one of us depending upon our ascendant and moon sign. If you want to take a professional consultation from me regarding your horoscope, then you can send an email to nikistarguide@gmail.com, and all the details are given in the description section. Saturn in Shatabhisha Nakshatra is a crucial period for realizing one's hidden blockages, especially the psychological blockages and the karmic ties in terms of our karma and life path. Shatabhisha Nakshatra carries highly eccentric, inventive, mysterious, scientific energies. And the patterns that are being formed during Saturn's transit into the nakshatra of Shatabhisha are going to be carried forward for a long duration of time, because Aquarius is a fixed sign and we must keep it in our mind that paying close attention to what are the significant roles, work, project or goals that we are undertaking during this time is going to be for a long run. There is nothing temporary over here when there is an involvement of Aquarius, Saturn and Rahu. Saturn together with Rahu gives rise to invention, innovation, research and even psychic abilities. Hence, during Saturn's stay in this nakshatra, we will be expanding our intuition and it will make us extremely contemplating about our career and our place in the society, as Saturn is the original ruler of the 10th house of Kalpurush Kundali, which governs our reputation, our public image into the society. It also represents our highest of duty and responsibility towards the humanity and the society. So this is the time period when all of us would most definitely find ourselves going into circles. As Shatabhisha Nakshatra, the literal representation, the symbolic representation of this nakshatra is an empty circle with no loopholes. All right, just a clear, perfectly formed circle which is empty. So we would be going into circles to find the most viable option and solutions to our existing problems. In my observation and studies, Shatabhisha Nakshatra carries somewhat cruel energies. Even if you look at the nakshatra of Shatabhisha as per the caste system in the nakshatra, it belongs to the butcher class. Hence, any planet here makes the native go hard on themselves in terms of the signification of that planet. So Saturn in Shatabhisha, as per my study and observation, would make one sensitive towards the mistake done in the past in terms of the career, in terms of the significations of the house that are ruled by Saturn and wherever Saturn is currently transiting through your chart. So one carries that negative event, incident, or the feeling that is associated with such events in their heart for a longer duration of time, which acts as a motivation factor to do better in the future, to become better in the future. But it can also act as a guilt-inducing factor. Hence, Shatabhisha is a place where there is a lot of deep, dark, mysterious energy. It's not a free-flowing, chirpy, cheerful nakshatra energy like many other nakshatras, because two strong, mighty, powerful, and karmic planets are associated with this nakshatra. This is a place where self-introspection is at its peak, and people are likely to go through an immense amount of self-induced suffering, all right, at times self-induced anxiety as well, to become the best healers, to become the best astrologers, or even people who study such subjects, all right. So we can expect a lot more new astrologers coming into limelight, a lot more new lawyers, scientists, doctors, humanitarian, philanthropists, psychologists, psychiatrists, or even technology experts will be rising during this transit. There is also possibility of exactly opposite thing that could happen during this time, which is either Saturn and Rahu together in Shatabhisha Nakshatra, which is Saturn being in the nakshatra of Shatabhisha, acts as if there is a conjunction being formed of Rahu and Saturn. So one will either be humbled down by seeing life suffering, by seeing how the world reacts to them, or how they are reacting to the events around them, or one can become ruthless, harsh, cold, and detached from the actual lesson that needs to be learned. So don't forget that if you are going through the times of suffering, it is to humble you down. It is to let you know that you are a part of this universe and you must remain humble and contribute your efforts towards the betterment of the society. So the lesson with Shatabhisha Nakshatra is to build excellent resilience power, resilience to overcome pressure, the self-induced anxiety, dealing with our own deep thoughts, mental agony, mood swings, and there is going to be a weird sense of uncanniness during this time because it is related with Shatabhisha Nakshatra, and this nakshatra carries such energies. So mental exhaustion, repeating the same thoughts over and over again in our mind, it kind of creates an environment which is similar to that of a pressure cooker or a steamer. We would be constantly dealing with lots of mental pressure and tension to do it better, to become better, to erase the past mistakes, to overcome certain patterns, to bring healing into the situations which are causing certain amount of hurdles and trials and errors. So this could be applied in conditions of our career or in the aspects of our life represented by Saturn's rulership and the signification of the house where the sign of Aquarius falls in your chart. So now, how to make the best of this transit? First of all, one of the major key advice from my side to you all would be to not do it all alone. So what happens in the Shatabhisha Nakshatra case is that Aquarius is all about network circle, being around people, finding solutions in group settings. But what happens in Shatabhisha Nakshatra is it carries the energies of eccentricity and detachment. So we might feel like we have to detach ourselves, we have to seclude ourselves away from our people, away from the network circle, and there will be a strong urge to go inward, to go deep within, and to find solutions on our own, which is absolutely fine. But the real zest of Aquarius lies in doing things in group setup. So make sure you strike a fine balance between when to spend time on your own, when to give time to self-introspection, and when to get going and get back to the social life. So the key is to contemplate upon the career aspect, upon your public stature or your reputation in the society, what kind of contribution you're making as a human being to the society, while maintaining a thin fine line between not getting drowned in the self-induced anxiety, pressure, guilt, or the eccentricity of SHATABHISHA Nakshatra. It also carries the energies of punishing oneself over and over again, which kind of hinders the happiness quotient and the peace of mind. So wherever the sign of Aquarius falls in your chart, you will find yourself going in circles, noticing a lot of new patterns, trying to find answers and solutions and healing to make things better in those aspects of life. You're kind of now going to become a scientist of those aspects of life, all right? But nothing will come easy, as Saturn plus Rahu's energies gives rise to a tug of war kind of situation. Hence, there will be constant push and pull scenario taking place in our mind, especially, and in the areas of life that is represented by Saturn's rulership and the house where the sign of Aquarius falls in your chart. So, feeling of dissatisfaction that could be so deeply rooted that it feels as if it's nearly impossible to get rid of it. And there comes solutions. There comes Saturn's healing presence in the nakshatra of Shatabhisha, which makes one think about others before themselves. So the major solace that we will find during this time is by serving other people, is by being of help to those who need us. So it could be small animals, it could be a cause, it could be some people, it could be an organization, anything, but you have to be able to be of help to other people. That's how Saturn in Shatabhisha Nakshatra will be a easy transit for you. All right. So think about others before yourself. You must know when to be all about yourself and about self-introspection, and you have to quickly detach yourself from going too much deep into your own personal issues and try to help other people. That's how you will be able to be at peace during this time. So these extreme energies of Saturn in Shatabhisha Nakshatra will be calmed down in this way. So do the necessary research, start something new, keep the momentum ongoing for the right reasons, keep working in the right direction, and staying optimistic is gonna be a key factor over here. Do some charity, involve in humanistic deeds, dedicate yourself to some social cause, uplifting humanity. If you are a business owner, then integrate certain techniques, business models through your product service-based business that could help and uplift humanity. If you are in a job setup, then you have to be service oriented. You have to think more about the cause than the income. The income will follow you. For the Aries ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is currently transiting through the nakshatra of Shatabhisha in your 11th house of horoscope, that is the sign of Aquarius. Now the ruler of the nakshatra of Shatabhisha, that is planet Rahu, is currently transiting over your natal moon or your ascendant, that is the first house of your horoscope, in the sign of Aries. So all this indicates that, first of all the Aries natives out there are solely focused on healing certain patterns, certain repetitive events in terms of their career, in terms of their finances, their financial management, or the kind of reputation that you hold into the society. So Saturn in Shatabhisha Nakshatra will first of all make you highly focused and introspective about your financial well-being, about the kind of routine income that you're having currently. If you are not satisfied with the same, then you are going to be putting in a lot more effort into enhancing your finances. So Saturn here in the Shatabhisha Nakshatra can make you go hard on yourself. You might be having anxiety, you might be having deep thoughts related to why am I not where was I supposed to be? Or you might get anxious about the progress that you have made in your career till now, and you might want to radically shift the reality, like you want to turn it 180-degree and you want to be on the other side of the reality, that is towards and near your dreams, goals, and ambition. So make sure that you don't let the deep introspective thoughts and um, introspection or the anxiety cripple you down till you no longer can enjoy your financial well-being or your current state of finances or your current status that you have attained in your career. So slowly heal the patterns. And if you're wanting and willing to take big risk in your career, if you want to change that job, if you want to switch from business to job or job to business, then this time period can be of help. But you have to take good support of your colleagues, of your elder siblings, of your network circle, and with the right financial management, you can take a risk during this time. So there can be some major events taking place around your friendships and network circle as well. So be selective in terms of trusting people and listen to your gut instinct more than anybody else, and do the necessary research in order to gain the best possible results of this transit. For the Taurus ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is currently transiting through the nakshatra of Shatabhisha in your 10th house of horoscope. The ruler of the nakshatra of Shatabhisha, planet Rahu, is currently transiting through the 12th house of your horoscope. So now this is a very crucial transit for all the Taurus natives out there. Expect new technical inventions in your career, especially if you are in business, which involves dealing with some kind of machinery or inventions, research. It has some kind of scientific solutions in it, or you are working in government, or you are working with your father, then this time period is especially going to be very significant for you all. There will be hidden expenses and hidden investments that could take place in order for you to rise in your career, in order for you to rise in your business, or to take your business to the next level. For the Taurus natives, relationship with father and authorities is going to be of significance during this time. You have to be honest, open, and talkative in order to avoid conflicts. Avoid any kind of passive aggressive behavior with your father, with your authority, with your colleagues as well. By that way, you will be able to keep these intense energies of Shatabhisha Nakshatra under control. So when Saturn is in the Shatabhisha Nakshatra and Rahu is in the 12th house, this can indicate if you want to make a change in your career, if you want to radically transform and shift your public reputation and image, or you want to change that career field, or you want to switch from job to business or business to job, then this time period can give you enough of time to contemplate on the same and to come up with some necessary concrete plans and ideas to do so. Here, avoid getting into any kind of illegal activities in terms of career, especially. Keep a track on where and how you are spending your money, and focus more on investing your money, all right, for the betterment of your career in the future rather than spending money. So spending money is something that is short term, but investing money in some kind of resources that will help you elevate your career and business or your job through a course or something of that sort will be of help. So overall, this is a good transit. You just have to make sure that you are constantly reinventing yourself, your public reputation, and what you are giving to the society. So doing charity is also going to be of great help during this time to make the best of this transit. For the Gemini ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is currently transiting through the nakshatra of Shatabhisha in your 9th house of horoscope, and the ruler of the nakshatra of Shatabhisha, planet Rahu, is currently transiting through the 11th house. So now the whole focus for healing certain patterns to overcome certain amount of self-induced anxiety or nervousness or to start afresh in life is taking place for all the Gemini natives in terms of their higher education. Their morals, principles and belief system is about to get radically shifted during this time. So Saturn in SHATABHISHA Nakshatra in your 9th house will be of great help if you are doing any kind of research, if you are in any kind of work or education that involves you dealing with public, you dealing with research, whether it be you are interviewing people or you are in a business setup or you are looking to get relocated for your education or for your career. This time period is highly suitable for the same. The relationship with your father, your gurus and your teachers will be prominent. There is some kind of past life karma that is being activated during this time, which means that you might be overly concerned about whether your belief system is helping you grow spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally in life. And there might be certain amount of pressure that you are inducing upon yourself to figure out better options for all regions of life, like your finances, your relationship with your father, or even for travel and for career as well. So the more you focus on finding solutions through the knowledge that you have acquired till now. So if you are taking up any course or you know that you might have to take up any course in order for you to enhance your financial income, to enhance your relationship with yourself, with your father, within your career, then this is the great time period to do so. By pursuing some kind of course and education and doing some kind of research, servicing others, serving other people, or getting into humanitarian acts would be of help in mitigating the negative results of Saturn's nakshatra transit of Shatabhisha. So more focus is going to be on travel, more focus is going to be on elder siblings and your father, and make sure that travel and your expenditure is for the right reasons, for your career or for your education only. For the Cancer ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is currently transiting through the nakshatra of Shatabhisha in your 8th house of horoscope. So the 8th house is the house of sudden events, is the unknown house, is the deep and darkest house of the horoscope. And the ruler of the nakshatra of Shatabhisha, planet Rahu, is currently transiting through the 10th house of horoscope in the sign of Aries. So now, with Shatabhisha Nakshatra comes the theme of solving some kind of mystery. And on top of it, Saturn is transiting through the house of mystery, that is the 8th house. So now, this is a time period of bringing in healing, tapping into the inner wisdom that you already hold within yourself, that you already have attained over the time period. Now it's time to tap into the wisdom, tap into that intuition, tap into that guidance, intuitive guidance that you know you are capable of receiving, being a Cancer ascendant or moon sign, which is the sign of emotions. So now, Saturn in the 8th house, what it will do first of all is it will make you highly emphasized on healing certain kind of patterns and themes, repetitive events in your partnership, in your marriage, if you are already married, if you are in a business partnership, or in terms of your career as well. If you are radically wanting to shift your career, if you wanted to restart your career, if it has been on hold since few years, or if you wanted to get relocated, or if you were willing to bring some change and shift in the way you perceive your career, in the way you perform in your career, in the way you look at your career, then this time period is great to do so. This is a great time period for all the doctors, healers, archaeologists, mining workers, or civil engineers, occult practitioners, even for IT professionals. This is a great time period. There can be certain energetic shifts taking place, or you are You are now being asked to find solutions through some kind of healing arts energies. There is a possibility of any kind of changes in terms of your in terms of the health related to your teeth or your facial features, or in terms of kidney related issues. You have to be mindful during this time. um, you have to be accepting towards new roles or changes in job are likely to take place. Take good care of your health and remain optimistic about your career. Take solace in some kind of healing practices such as astrology, tarot, numerology, or any kind of psychic work, psychology, and that would help in gaining the best possible results of this time. For the Leo ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is transiting through the nakshatra of SHATABHISHA in your 7th house of horoscope, and Rahu, the ruler of the nakshatra of SHATABHISHA, is currently transiting through the 9th house of your horoscope. So first of all, Saturn receives directional strength in the 7th house. It's right in the middle of the sign of Aquarius, strong when it comes to degree-wise strength of Saturn, when it comes to the Digbala or even its Mool Trikon sign-wise. So first of all, Leo natives are gonna get damn serious about their relationship, about their public dealings, about their relationship with spouse or their business partner. So if until now you were taking these things lightly, then there will be a radical 180-degree shift taking place in the way you pursue these things, in the way you deal with these things. So especially if you're married or willing to get married, or if you were not satisfied with the way you deal with the 7th house matters, then there will be much of pressure put on you, so that you can come up with new solutions, new healing patterns to get rid of the old and to bring in the new energy. So there will be a lot of introspection happening around dealings with other people. Dealings with spouse and other people will bring revolutionary changes in your personality. So expect lots of travel, expect dealings with foreigners, expect a long distance travel where you will be going across a sea, and you would be wanting to shift your public image through your career, through the karma that you perform. All right, so this is a very significant transit for all the Leo natives, because you will be given an opportunity to let other people influence you. Rather, I would say other people will influence you very easily during this time, and it can act as a two-edged sword if you have lack of confidence. If you are someone who has a weak moon, or if you are someone who has a weak sun in their chart, then this Saturn in SHATABHISHA Nakshatra in the 7th house can actually make you meet powerful people, people who will humble you down, people who will make you question yourself and your self-worth. So do not go towards this negative side of this transit. Always stay optimistic. Remember, you are ruled by planet Sun, and you are supposed to stay optimistic about your dealings in life, and that's how you'll be able to make the concrete changes in life through Saturn's nakshatra transit of SHATABHISHA in a positive manner. For the Virgo ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is currently transiting through the nakshatra of SHATABHISHA in your 6th house of horoscope, and the nakshatra ruler of SHATABHISHA, that is planet Rahu, is currently transiting through the 8th house of your horoscope. Now, Saturn being the ruler of the 5th and 6th house, this indicates that major focus for the Virgo natives is going to be to change, bring some revolutionary change, some radical change in their routine life. It may so happen that Saturn will push you to focus on your health, on your routine life, on managing your day-to-day tasks in a better manner. So suppose if you were somebody who was not keeping well with their health, or with their health regime, or with their exercise routine, or with their debts, so this Saturn will push you towards anxious thoughts, and the anxiety might even make you cripple down a bit, but you will be into the introspection mode to heal from those unserving patterns. And you will be asked to receive help from any kind of healer, doctor, or your colleagues or people around you, or your work will help you heal yourself. So Saturn in Shatabhisha in 6th house can also indicate that if you were not satisfied with your job or your career, or you were not doing good willingly, then this Saturn in Shatabhisha Nakshatra will push you towards deep introspection, and it will help you get out of that rut zone, that dead zone, which was not helpful to you. So it's time to reflect and invent your health regime, your routine life. If you want to take up any loan, then you have to be mindful that you have all the liabilities that are necessary to take up and to carry forward the loan and to complete it and to pay it back. All right. Avoid lending money to anybody. Avoid getting into quarrels and disputes over small little things in terms of career, in terms of your colleagues. That way you will be saving a lot of energy and the intense impact of Shatabhisha Nakshatra, and you will channel it towards the betterment of the necessary things. So anything which is related to your health especially, you must take good care of it. You must not ignore your health during this time. All right, that's how you can make the best of this transit of Saturn in the nakshatra of Shatabhisha. For the Libra ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is currently transiting through the nakshatra of Shatabhisha in your 5th house of horoscope, either from your ascendant or from your moon sign. And Saturn is the ruler of your 4th and 5th house. It is the yoga karaka planet. And the nakshatra ruler of the Shatabhisha, that is planet Rahu, is currently transiting through the 7th house of your horoscope. So now, when it comes to the Shatabhisha Nakshatra, there is always a theme attached where you have to solve some kind of mystery. You have to devote yourself. You have to serve something which is higher than yourself, which will take away all your personal pain and conflict and grief. So now Libra people are going to be getting serious about their education, about their hobbies, about their romance related matters. If you are in relationship or if you are married, this transit is highly potent in terms of revealing the underlying karma behind you and your spouse's interaction in this lifetime, behind you and your romantic partner's interaction. If you are planning to get pregnant, if you are a lady, or if you are willing to become a father, this transit will make you wish for the same even more than before. So you have to take this urge coming from within in a positive way. You shouldn't punish yourself if things are not going your way. You have to keep on trying. You have to take help of medical professionals if needed, because that's how Saturn and Shatabhisha Nakshatra will act here. You are going to become serious about your education, about your income, about public recognition as well, because 5th house is the throne, and 7th house, where Rahu is posited currently, is the house of public dealings. So through public dealings, through sharing your knowledge, through being serious and showing the output from your hobbies and interest and education, this Saturn and Rahu duo will give you best possible results during this time. Now going ahead, if we have to understand that you are concerned about your child's future, then you have to be mindful and you have to take slow steps towards the same. So past life karma is also getting activated here, because 5th lord represents the good deeds from the past life. So Saturn will definitely provide you with the good results, with the results that you deserve. So be ready to bear some pressure. There will be some pressure on your shoulders, on your chest. All you have to do is accept it with gratitude and keep on performing your duties, and do not let the enthusiasm go into vain. So produce something bigger and greater for the humanity than yourself. For the Scorpio ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is currently transiting through the nakshatra of SHATABHISHA in your 4th house of horoscope. Saturn is the ruler of your 3rd and the 4th house of horoscope. And the nakshatra ruler of SHATABHISHA, that is planet Rahu, is currently transiting through your 6th house. So now here, the major focus for the Scorpio natives is around the responsibilities, the self-induced anxiety around the familial matters. So here the 4th and the 6th house are being simultaneously activated, which means that if you are planning to get relocated, if you are planning to live with your mother, or if you live abroad and your mother is in your homeland, if you're planning for her to live with you, then you can take such steps during this time. This is a time period where such kind of anxious thoughts might cripple you down, where you feel like I haven't done enough for my family, or I so badly want to change certain patterns within my family life, within my home environment, which means that you might be refurbishing the interiors, or you are bringing new changes in the environment within your home, be it artifacts, be it plants, be it paintings, be it the color scheme in your home, anything to everything, but mainly the changes will be happening, taking place on the psychological level. So this is a great time to connect with your mother on a soul-to-soul level. You might even have to endure some of the responsibilities towards your mother and your motherland, towards your family. So try not to let the anxiety cripple you down. Instead, do whatever the best you can from where you are, from in whatever stage of life you are in. All right, so that would help you remain peaceful, because Saturn in Shatabhisha in the 4th house is a placement which can keep you anxious when you are with your family, and it can also make you anxious when you are away from your family. So you have to strike a fine balance between these two extremities, and you have to perform your duties and responsibilities and take up the responsibility for your loved ones in whatever way possible. So just by being punctual, just by being yourself, and being attentive towards your loved ones, towards your mother, or even towards your own emotions, this transit will be helpful in attaining spiritual growth, because 4th house is the moksha house. That's how you can make the best of this transit. For the Sagittarius ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is currently transiting through the nakshatra of Shatabhisha in your 3rd house of horoscope, and the nakshatra ruler of Shatabhisha, that is planet Rahu, is currently transiting through the 5th house of horoscope. Now Saturn rules the 2nd and 3rd house of your horoscope. So this means that the major focus, the theme of the Shatabhisha nakshatra of the healing that needs to be taken place, or the patterns that needs to be rejuvenated and revived, the energy that needs to be rejuvenated is happening around the 3rd house matters and the 2nd house matters, which means that first of all, you are learning to expand your boundaries. You are learning to open up to right kind of people. You are also teaching yourself to reinforce your boundaries and whom to not surround yourself with. Because 3rd house is the house of communication. It is the house of interacting with our near and dear ones, right? Anybody out of our family that you can interact with on everyday basis, that is our neighbors or our childhood friends, or the way in which we express ourselves, is going to be on your radar this year when Saturn is transiting through the nakshatra of Shatabhisha. So here Sagittarius natives might be extremely picky about their words, about the phrases that they're using, or there might be some events, sudden events taking place around communication, which makes you go into deep introspective mode, where you would be constantly asking yourself, might be punishing yourself, getting anxious about why did I say something, or why did I do something, and how it turned out to be something that was unwanted. So a healthy introspective mode is good enough, but it shouldn't calm down the fire within you, right? You are a fiery ascendant or moon sign native, so you love to express yourself freely, but Saturn here will make you very, very serious about the way you communicate and deal with other people. And Rahu in fifth house is boosting your life force. It's making you see life through rose tinted glasses, right? Fifth house is, as I always say, is the house of enthusiasm. It's the house of life force and energy. So Rahu is boosting that, and Saturn is making you contemplate on your boundaries, on your communication. This is a time period to heal your relationship with your siblings, with your family members even. You are learning to incorporate courageous acts, courageous deeds in your life, but with healthy caution. So by following these tips, you would be able to make the best of this time period. For the Capricorn ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is currently transiting through the nakshatra of SHATABHISHA in your second house of horoscope. The nakshatra ruler of SHATABHISHA, that is planet Rahu, is currently transiting through the fourth house of your horoscope. Saturn is the ruler of your ascendant or moon sign. So this is a very significant transit for you all. And Saturn is now transiting through the mysterious nakshatra, the eccentric nakshatra, the nakshatra which carries the energies of healing. All right. So when it comes to SHATABHISHA nakshatra, as I always say, there is some kind of mystery to be solved. Some kind of patterns are to be understood during this time. So now the Capricorn natives are going to be contemplating on their life path, on their personality itself, on the way they are dealing with their family members, the way they are carrying forward their values, their beliefs system, their morals and principles in life. How much are you gaining in life and how much are you on the losing front? You are going to be constantly pulled in these two directions. There can be a tug of war happening about your career, about your life path. You might go into contemplation mode too often, where you feel like, I want to invest in property, but your family has a different say, or your family is suggesting you something about the property matters or your career related matters, but you have a different opinion. So there is a need of striking a fine balance and remaining in the harmony zone with your family, because Saturn and Rahu both are activating the second and fourth house, and both of these houses are connected with family, wealth, home related matters, your speech. So your speech is going to act as a medium factor, as a mediator. You have to use your speech wisely. You have to communicate clearly. There can be a possibility that your speech might become eccentric, like suddenly you are going hot and cold. Suddenly you are not in a mood to talk to people in your family itself, which is creating some kind of disturbance within your family. All right. So avoid being extremely moody. If you need some alone time, tell your people that you would be requiring this much of time on your own, and after that we can go ahead with our discussions. So this is a great time to contemplate on your savings, on your investments, before making any big decisions. Yes, the transits are supporting investment in property, but your individual dasha should also suggest the same. And you have to contemplate on your food eating habits. You have to make some necessary changes over there, and you have to take the financial decisions wisely. That's how you can make the best of this time period. For the Aquarius ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is currently transiting through the nakshatra of SHATABHISHA in your first house of horoscope, and the nakshatra ruler of SHATABHISHA, that is planet Rahu, is currently transiting through the third house of your horoscope. So now Saturn is your ascendant or moon sign ruler, and it also governs the 12th house of your horoscope. All right. And Saturn and Rahu together are simultaneously activating first and third house of your horoscope along with the 12th house. So which means that Aquarius natives are going to be solving some kind of mystery around themselves, around their psyche, around their psychological thought process. So Saturn on one hand will make you contemplate a lot about your own self, the way you behave, the way you portray yourself to the world, the way you perceive the world, the way you present yourself to the world, or the way you are as a human being. You are constantly getting those anxious thoughts about Am I acting correct? Am I being the right person? Have I done the work of healing? Am I being sensible enough? Am I being logical enough or not? Because remember, Aquarius is all about intellect, right? So you're constantly contemplating on such matters. On the other hand, Rahu in the third house is pushing you to expand your boundaries, to explore more on the digital media platforms like social media. Your presence will increase on social media. You want to form new friendships. You want to get connected with people who are like-minded. But this will not come easily to you because here Saturn is in SHATABHISHA Nakshatra, and it indicates that there still needs to be some healing that should take place in your life, in your personality, because 12th house ruler is in the mysterious nakshatra of SHATABHISHA right now, which is also your first lord. Which means that you will be very cautious about the promises that you're making to other people, especially when it comes to your career, when it comes to your personal relationships, when it comes to your duties and responsibilities in life. So wherever you are abided morally or legally, you are going to be that serious about it. You are going to be contemplating so hard on it. So make sure to take good amount of rest, because sometimes mental exhaustion and self-induced pressure can get you easily exhausted. So by doing all these things, you will be able to break certain boundaries. You will be able to reinforce some of your boundaries. Rather, you would be able to re-establish yourself during this transit. This is a great time period to reinvent yourself. For the Pisces ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is currently transiting through the nakshatra of SHATABHISHA in your 12th house of horoscope, and the nakshatra ruler of SHATABHISHA, that is planet Rahu, is currently transiting through the second house of your horoscope. Saturn rules the 11th and the 12th house of horoscope. Saturn is strongly placed and transiting through your 12th house in its Mool Trikorn sign. But remember, Saturn is also influencing this Rahu, the nakshatra ruler of SHATABHISHA, and this is going to make life of a Piscean native a little more introspective. Pisceans are already introspective beings. They are always contemplating and overthinking about life. And on top of it, Saturn is putting additional pressure over here on your psyche. But this time, the pressure is actually capable enough to make you come up with some concrete solutions to address some of the long-term pending issues in your life, be it about your career, be it about your personality, be it about your psyche. So 12th house is the house of boundaries, and now Saturn is restriction, and SHATABHISHA Nakshatra carries healing energies, mysterious energies. So the kind of mystery that you would be solving, Pisceans, is to understand what holds you back, and then you're slowly going to take steps towards healing and releasing those boundaries. Now so much of boundaries are there that you are done and dusted with those boundaries, and you want to release yourself from all the burden and pressure of life, or I would say self-induced anxiety and the pressure caused by it, because Pisceans are already familiar with this thought that I'm sharing right now, and Saturn will now actually be helpful in making you heal these patterns which are non-serving to you. Saturn will also help you in regulating your speech, because Rahu in the second house is already giving you some kind of exotic speech pattern. You are speaking more than necessary, but then Saturn will kind of put its third aspect on Rahu, and it will make you be mindful of your words. So just make sure that you are constantly healing your relation with your own psyche, with your own self-sabotaging thoughts, with your speech pattern, and your relationship with the money. If you work on these aspects, there is no stop for growth, because there is no other planet better than Saturn to help you go towards spiritual aspect of life, spiritual growth, and higher realm understanding as well.